Good afternoon, everyone. Would you please bow your heads with me? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to be here to celebrate this milestone in the lives of these student doctors. I pray that you remind them of the calling that you have given them, and that you will also humble them as they prepare for a life of service. I pray that when they put on their white coats today, that they will feel not only a sense of accomplishment for getting to this point, but also a sense of ambition to live up to what the white coat represents. I pray that you will give them wisdom, and that when times get tough, that they will learn to lean on you, and that you would help them to see mistakes not as failures, but as opportunities to learn and grow. From this class, Lord, I pray that you would raise up not only great physicians, but also great leaders, educators, and world changers. I also pray for understanding from their families and friends as they see the time commitment and dedication that this path requires. Lastly, Lord, I pray that each day of this journey, you would walk alongside these students, giving them confidence that they are exactly where you place them. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Please be seated. Thank you, Student Dr. Bailey. Good afternoon, students, families, friends, and special guests, and welcome to the 2019 White Coat Ceremony of the University of Pikeville's Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. My name is Dana Schaefer, DO, and I am the Dean of KYCOM. I would like to take a moment to introduce the platform party. Please hold your applause until I have completed the introductions. On my right, making sure I've got it correct here, Martin Levine, DO, UPIKE Board of Trustees. Anthony Yawns, DO, our keynote speaker and one of our alum. Vishnu Joshi, DO, President of the Kentucky Osteopathic Medical Association. Student Dr. Rachel Bailey, Class of 2022, President of the KYCOM Christian Medical Association. Student Dr. Ala Galini, President of the KYCOM Chapter of SOMA. Student Dr. Carly Clemens, Vice President, KYCOM Class of 2022. Student Dr. Daniel Stoneberg, President, KYCOM Class of 2022. And on my left, Dr. Burton Webb, President of the University of Pikeville. Sanbol Sahid Salas, DO, President of the KYCOM Alumni Association and alum of KYCOM. Laura Griffin, DO, Associate Dean of Osteopathic Integration and Professor and Chair, Department of OPP. Student Dr. Nicole Tomczyk, Class of 2022, President of KYCOM SGA. Student Dr. I knew I was going to do this. Rathisha Pathmathison. I'm going to get this before she graduates, I promise you. And Joe Kingery, Associate Dean of Osteopathic Medical Education. Please welcome the platform party. At this time, I would like to call President Webb to the podium.
Well, good afternoon. It's a great day. It's great for us to all be together, and on behalf of the University of Pikeville, I'd like to welcome you here to this white coat ceremony. It's a wonderful opportunity that we have to celebrate a milestone, an achievement in the lives of these young future physicians. But before we do that, I want to remind you of something. 2 days from now, on September the 15th, but back in 1889, a small group of around 32 people gathered together here in Pikeville, Kentucky, and they started the Pikeville Collegiate Institute 130 years ago. A little over 22 years ago, there were a couple of businessmen here in town who said, you know, I think we ought to have a medical school at Pikeville College. I wonder if we can figure out how to make that happen. And they put up their own money and they invested their time and they found a dean. His name was Stroh-Snyder. And they brought him here, and very soon there was a medical school right in the heart of the mountains. We've moved 130 years into the future, and the University of Pikeville is a thriving place now with both a medical school, an optometry college, and a thriving undergraduate institution. It is, in many senses, a beacon right here in the mountains. But before I'm done and sit down, I want to introduce a couple of folks to you. They're seated in the back, and I see at least one member of the Board of Trustees here, but there might be more. Ron is here. I want to wave. There we go. Ron is a member of our board. Yeah, hold your applause to the end. We also have Governor Patton and his wife Judy. And Dr. Lori Worth is the University Provost. And then we have the Dean's wife. Yeah, she's back there. I'll get you out of hot water. Right there, Mrs. Schaefer, good to see you. And then the former dean and his wife, Boyd Boozer. Boyd was here for 12 years, is that right, Boyd? 11 years. A long time. Dr. Boyd Boozer and his wife, Pam. Please welcome them. Thank you so much for coming. And now I'll turn this back over to Dr. Schaefer.
Thank you, President Webb. I'd like to recognize another group with us here this afternoon. Here at KYCOM, we have an outstanding faculty of whom I'm very proud. Their dedication to the education of our students is one of the keys to the success of our students and graduates, and I would like them to stand and be recognized. Thank you. In my view, this is the second most important ceremony conducted at the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, second only to graduation. The white coat ceremony was an idea conceived by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation to create a psychological contract for professionalism and empathy in medicine. The first white coat ceremony took place in 1993 at Columbia's College of Physicians and Surgeons. Since then, more than 90% of all osteopathic and allopathic medical schools in the United States have initiated this ceremony. This afternoon, the newest student doctors of the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine family, our class of 2023, will be coded and receive their DO touch pin, symbolizing the distinctiveness of our profession. Actually, we conduct this ceremony at the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine to mark their transition and commitment the members of this class are making from lay people to assuming the responsibility of student physicians. Why is it necessary to mark this transition? Why is a focus on professionalism and empathy necessary for medical students who have nearly 4 more years of medical school, licensing boards to pass, residencies to finish, and state licenses to obtain? It is necessary because being a physician, an osteopathic physician, starts now. You, the members of the class of 2023, will increasingly be granted by society significant and I hope humbling power and responsibility in your relations to your fellow human beings in regards to their health and illness of their bodies, minds, and spirits. You must recognize the privilege and understand that you are no longer just students. As you heard me talk to you at orientation just a few short weeks ago, you must walk, talk, think, eat, sleep, and behave as physicians 24/7, 365. You must accept and embrace the mantle of professionalism bestowed upon you symbolically here today. As you develop the qualities that will make you outstanding osteopathic physicians, you will grow in knowledge and skills from the academic and clinical experiences you will encounter during your time as physicians in training. Class of 2023, you were selected to enter this profession our osteopathic profession because you have demonstrated the abilities and the character necessary to succeed. Today, I congratulate you on your achievements so far, although it's only been one block exam, and encourage you in these accomplishments that are yet to come. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. This afternoon, we are blessed to have with us as our keynote speaker a 2003 alum of the University of Pikeville, Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. Dr. Anthony Yawns is a board-certified osteopathic physician practicing in Hazard, Kentucky. Dr. Yawns was raised in Bevansville, Kentucky. He completed his Bachelor of Science degree at Alice Lloyd College in 1999 and went on to graduate with the third graduating class of the University of Pikeville, Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine in 2003. Dr. Yawns completed his internal medicine PEDS residency program at the University of Kentucky in 2007. He was recognized as the Pediatrics Resident of the Year in 2006-2007. Dr. Yawns was appointed as an assistant professor of pediatrics at the University of Kentucky voluntary faculty in 2008. He was a recipient of the University of Pikeville, Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine Clinical Medical Educator of the Year in both 2009 and 2010. He currently serves as the Division Chair of Internal Medicine for KYCOM. Dr. Yawns specializes in internal medicine and pediatrics with Quantum Healthcare in Hazard, Kentucky. He is affiliated with Hazard ARH Medical Center. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Anthony Yawns, D.O.
Get out my 14 or 15-hour speech. There will be a brief intermission for snacks and drinks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, faculty, distinguished guests, and most of all, the class of 2023, it's quite an honor to be here and to get to do this. Dr. Levine and I were just talking as you guys were walking out, and it was like, man, these guys really look young. So I know the thought in this room right now is this guy, he graduated in 2003. He really looks young. So thank you. But it is quite an honor, and I really appreciate, Dr. Schaefer, the invitation to do this. Just a brief story about how this came about. A few weeks ago, it was a little longer than that, Dr. Schaefer, he called me and he said, Anthony, he said, I've been busy getting school started back, and he said, even looking ahead to the important step of graduation and a commencement speaker, and he said, I realized, he said, that I'm in a bit of a time crunch to get a keynote speaker for the white coat ceremony, and he said, I can't really find anybody good or anyone readily available that we wouldn't have to bring in, and everyone said you like to talk, so will you come and fill a few minutes? And I said, of course. I was honored. This is great. So briefly, I wanted to pull up, recently the AMA Journals of Ethics had a summary on the history of the white coat that you're getting ready to put on, and I just want to read some of that passage. It says, the white coat has served as the permanent symbol of physicians for over 100 years. For a child, the earliest memory of a doctor is a person in a white coat. Patients expect to be treated in doctors' offices, hospitals, and clinics by individuals wearing white coats. At virtually every medical school, there is a white coat ceremony, like he said, originated by Arnold P. Gold. So the thing about having a white coat is actually significant from a historical standpoint. If you look back traditionally, before around the turn of the 19th century, doctors wore black. And it wasn't in a negative connotation, it was just that at that time, black meant formal, like a tuxedo, right? And so most of medicine before the 1900s was considered a lot of witchcraft. And it was considered, so when the doctor was called in, that was not a good thing. It was kind of like, okay, here comes the Grim Reaper. It's over. We're going to bring this guy in, and he's going to finish you off and put you down, kind of like a horse. So the field of medicine has not always been what we think of, and it wasn't until the idea of antibiotics and actually trying to treat illness and trying to prevent future disease that medicine became what we know today as a science, where we study and we try to do scientifically things that will help people. And around the 19th century, there actually was a picture that was drawn, and it had Dr. Gross, right? So all of us know Gross Lab. He was a physician, and he and his students were all dressed in black, and they were amputating a guy's leg, or amputating. You'll see different sources. And so at that point, again, this guy, he was heading to Chicago, as we say, right? It was time for him to die. But white became the new standard for physicians. And the reason that it was is it represented clarity and cleanliness. And so today, when we think of physicians, that's more of what we want to be recognized as, right? So we don't want to be recognized in the same sentence with the reaper. We want to be known as healers. So with that being said, Sir William Osler said, "Let me congratulate you on the choice of a calling which offers a combination of intellectual and moral interests found in no other profession. The journey you have now began is like no other journey and no other profession. You have been given the privilege of pursuing a dream, a calling, a duty, a career that I can assure you will give more to you than you can ever give to it. I can remember at your stage, closing my eyes every night and praying, please, God, get me through this. And I would close my eyes and I could picture my name, comma, D.O. with med-peds underneath it. And I would just keep that prayer going every night. And he got me there. But before I go into that, I want to give you my view of what you're putting on your shoulders today. You're putting on your shoulders a lifetime of endless, exhausting days that is both physically and mentally towing. Work hour weeks that others only gasp at. You have chosen a field that will demand time from your family and your loved ones, and it will rob you of precious memories. You have chosen to bear the burden of never being able to do enough. You have chosen to bear the mental anguish of facing failure, if not on a daily, a weekly basis. You have chosen a field that will exhaust you mentally and physically and push you to limits that you could never dream of. You have chosen to have your every move, thought, action scrutinized. Lawyers will be looking over your shoulder at every turn, waiting for a mistake. You will face a government that doesn't realize you're here to help, not drain society or addicted citizens. You have chosen to accumulate debt that makes even the wealthiest shiver. You have chosen to fight with insurance companies on a daily basis who don't understand your job is to deliver care, compassion, and unrelenting dedication to the betterment of your fellow man, regardless of the cost. You have signed up for the rest of your life that every time someone looks at you to talk, they're going to complain about something. You have chosen to sacrifice the prime portion of your life to pursue this dream, and you will never get that time back. So we should be at the point where you're thinking, did this guy not get the memo? This is a positive speech he's supposed to be delivering. He's supposed to be delivering us inspiration, something we take with us for now on. Well, here's the part that no one tells you. And all the above is true. But the secret that makes medicine so addicting is everything I just said is like a drop of rain in the ocean compared to what medicine is going to give to you. Hippocrates said, wherever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love of humanity. And what other job in the world do we get to pursue what our Creator did when he walked this earth? And Henry Ford, I want you guys to remember this. Henry Ford once said, you can't build a reputation on what you're going to do. Remember that. Do it. Don't say you're going to. But now here's my real take on why we do this. You've placed on your shoulders something that will deliver you a lifetime of satisfaction that is unmatched by any profession in the world. Our profession transcends race, gender, religion, political differences. If you're a great physician, you're respected and you're considered great. This is truly the greatest job in the world. I had an attending once give me the best advice I've had in my entire career. He looked at me and he said, Yawns, this is really, really simple. Just tell your patients the truth and you'll never have to remember what you said. Best advice I ever got. In addition to the heartbreak, you have placed on your shoulders something that will deliver you humor. My partner and I, when we started off, we were, like many others, trying to survive. And so the local psych center had called and said, hey, we need someone to come up and see folks for medical consults. And we needed business, and we didn't care where it came from, so we said, okay. So I went up reluctantly, and it didn't seem that bad. And so my partner, to put this in perspective, he's about 6'5", 260 pounds, so he's like a Kentucky unit and a half. Yeah, he's a good-sized boy. And he didn't want to do it. He said, no, I'm scared, man. He said, those people are crazy. And I said, now remember, we were taught crazy people die of real disease, so we have to figure this out. And he said, I know, but they scare me. And I said, no, I'll go with you the first time. It's nothing, I've been there. I kid you not, we walk on to the first wing and sliding down the hall, completely naked, sitting Indian style with her hand behind her, pushing her down the hall with diarrhea running out of her rectum, was a lady scooting down the hall, jabbering. And so he looks at me, and I'm expecting him to walk out the door, and he just grins, and he says, that's just not right. And he goes on. So, although debt is huge, I can assure you that that coat will provide a living that you and your family and loved ones will get to enjoy. You'll have nice cars, nice houses, go on vacations. You'll put your kids through college. All the stuff that we work financially to gain. As you gain a better understanding of time management, you will learn to juggle your schedule so that you don't miss those precious moments. You have put on your shoulders something that carries with it respect, both from your patients and your family. I pray that each of you are blessed with the opportunity to become a parent someday, if nothing else, so you can see the gleam of pride in your kid's eye when they realize what you do for a living. You have been given the honor of trust. People will share with you when the door is closed things that they will tell no one else on this planet. They won't tell their mom, their dad, their loved ones. They won't tell their preacher. They will share with you moments that they will with no one else. You cannot let that trust down. Forget about HIPAA, forget about all the regulations that protect privacy. There can and should never be a law as strict as the standards that we put on ourselves. You have to understand, you're human. You're going to make mistakes. You will have the point in your training where you feel responsible for someone dying. And the truth of the matter is you're probably going to be right. You probably killed them. It happens. Not too often. or at least it doesn't supposed to. But you have to carry with you your faith and understanding that we do not make that ultimate decision. You're going to be rewarded with the humble distinction of getting respect just because of what you do. Never take advantage of that. You've placed on your shoulders a cloth that will allow you to be admired. You've placed on your shoulders the satisfaction of every day of your life doing something that will have a positive effect on others. Strive for that. Strive to alleviate your fellow man's sufferings. Be compassionate. Be patient. And as we're often told, be kind. And always be humble in this job. You're going to get some kicks to the shin and a lot of pats on the back. Take them both equally and learn and grow from them. Use both to become a better physician. I remember, speaking of mistakes, one night I was in residency. I was on call. The ER doc calls and he says, "Hey, can you come down here?" Okay. And so I go down and he says, "We're going to have to go outside." And for you all that are north, south, east, or west of eastern Kentucky, I'm sorry that I speak another language, hillbilly, so I apologize. But he said, "No, we're going to have to go outside." And I said, "Why?" He said, "There's a guy laying in the road and he's trying to commit suicide." And I said, "Okay, well, why do we have to go get him?" He said, "I don't know. Nobody else will, so we have to." And I said, "Okay." So we go, and the guy's kicking and screaming at us and a couple of security guards, and we finally get him on a gurney, and we wheel him in to the ER. And so he said, "Well, we're going to admit him." I said, "Why are we going to admit him to the medicine team?" And he said, "Well, obviously he's sick." I said, "Yeah, but okay, fine." So we put him in, put him up on the floor, and here's where mistakes come in. We forgot to order a sitter. And we put him in a room that still had windows that would open, right? So my intern goes up to check on him, and he's gone. I was like, "Well, that's probably not ideal. Do we know where he's at?" He said, "Yeah, we do." And I said, "Okay, where's he at?" He said, "He's back out in the road." I said, "How did he get in the road?" He said, "Well," he said, "we had him on the third floor," and he said he actually jumped out the window in an attempt to kill himself. And he said he landed, and when he landed, he was over the canopy of the hospital, so he only fell about 6 to 8 feet, and he dislocated his hip. So then he crawled over to the edge of the canopy trying to go head first, and he landed in a tree that gently rolls the guy down to the ground. And then he proceeds to crawl back into the street, and he's in front of one of the city buses yelling, "Kill me, kill me." So we learned from our mistake. Sitters, you must have sitters. So ladies and gentlemen, I needed to correct that. Young student doctors, you are going to get tired. You can count on that. I thought the best description of this process was when one of my predecessors told me, he said, "Medical school is real simple." He said, "It's just a marathon at a sprinter's pace." And I really can't think of a better description of this process. But you will see it comes with it an adrenaline rush that runs through your vein like jet fuel. And you will get through this. So I know I'm getting long-winded, but here's my brief summary. Despite it all, one day, probably when you least expect it, and you're against the wall the hardest, you're going to get what really makes this job worthwhile. You're going to have someone come up to you very often with a tear in their eye, and they're just going to look at you and say, "Thank you." And the button's reset, and you go at it the next day, and you love it even more. So that's the secret to why we do this and why we love it so much. Despite all the good and despite all the bad, there's nothing like what you've signed up for. We are all counting on you, proud of you, and depending on you. Thank you for allowing me to share this evening with you, and God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Yawns. And now we're going to have some greetings from the Student Government President, Untitled Chapter.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor and a privilege to be here today, and I want to offer a special thank you to all the families and friends that traveled near and far to be here to witness this extraordinary milestone. It's surreal for me that just a year ago that I was sitting in your seats, and although it may not seem like it right now, your first year of medical school is going to fly by faster than you can say glyceraldehyde, 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. My apologies if that enzyme name triggers a little bit of post-block stress for you. But after enduring just a little bit over a month of medical school, some sleepless nights, and possibly even a few stints of self-diagnosis, the hard work you've done thus far is finally paying off in the form of your first white coat. The white coat that you're going to receive today represents your formal passage into the world of medicine. It also represents the truest testament of the years of sacrifice you will have to make for the good of your future patients. And as you profess today's oath in front of your family, friends, and your community members, you're acknowledging your central obligation of always caring for patients with compassion and excellence. So I would be lying to you if I said that medical school is easy, because it's not. You're going to have your fair share of highs and lows, and sometimes the learning curve will seem unforgivably steep. And at times, self-deprivation and feelings of inadequacy, and sometimes your blood will even consist more of caffeine than it does hemoglobin. But despite the trials and tribulations, you're going to have to keep in mind that there are over 100 others going through the same exact process as you, and those individuals are sitting right next to you. As DOs, we pride ourselves on the familial nature of our profession and the level of compassion we provide our patients. So I urge you, please reach out to one another and be each other's keeper. Your classmates are the newest members of your family, and you would definitely be remiss if you weren't going to take care of one another. Also remember that your family and friends and your professors are here to provide you with unconditional love and support as you continue to pursue your dreams. So if you take a look around you to the individuals that are sitting behind me and then all the individuals sitting in the stands right now, we're all beaming with pride to celebrate one of the most important days of your medical school career. And so before I hand the mic over, I just wanted to leave you with a quote that has always helped me maintain the motivation to continue pursuing a goal despite the challenges I was faced with. If something is important to you, you will find a way. If not, you're going to find an excuse. And so I wanted to share this particular quote with you because, let's face it, the next 2 years here, it's going to be difficult. You're going to have to balance school with spending time with family and friends, making food, doing laundry, cleaning your apartment, all while trying to maintain physical and mental health. It's absolutely insane that we're still able to function normally. So I'd like you to keep this quote in mind, especially in your more difficult days. Over the course of these next 2 years, you're going to have to work really, really hard to make your future as a doctor a reality. You're going to have to stick with your goal day in and day out, and not just for a day or just for a week or even just for a month, but you're going to have to do it for years. So each and every day, remind yourself why you're doing this and why it's important to you, because when you do, you're going to continue to develop an unyielding passion and the perseverance to achieve this ultimate goal. So student doctors of the class of 2023, again, congratulations on receiving your first white coat. You most definitely earned it. Thank you.
Would the class of 2023 please come to the stage? Nadine Abul Kadud. Furqan Ahmed. Julie Alvarez. Abigail Amheiser. Siddiq Ansari. Sofia Antamizieras. Christina Antonovich. Nicholas Arsanos. Furqan Attar. Jonathan Austin. Benjamin Ayers. Alexa Ball. Rashmita Bardhan. Allison Bowman. Alec Birch. Angela Binkowski. Tejaswani Bolini. Caleb Bowen. Lily Bryce. Stephanie Brooks. Christina Campbell. Carly Castella. Victor Chu. Madison Clements. David Klein. Francesca Cocciarelli. Alexis Conley Murray. Cody Cooper. Amber Crawford. Drew Crum. Dia Doss. Cooper Davis. Kyle Dezay. Hunter Dunnigan. Caleb Elmore. Sydney Elston. Yetunde Fabii. Hunter Fanella. Samer Farhood. Samantha Fox. Caitlin Garza. Connor Galls. Margaret Gertz. Adam Gelhausen. Jaron George. Nicole Green. Robert Grigsby. Caesar Gama. Samantha Hamilton. Tristan Seth B.W. Harris III. Catherine Hausruth. Caitlin Heaton. Brian Hodosh. Elizabeth Hollis. Ahmad Oury. Caitlin Hunt. Lindsay Jasper. Andrea Justice. Jason Justice. Waybov Kadam. Ramisha Khan. Rhea Canal. Ala Katab. Jordan Kirk. Alexis Kitchen. Scott Glim. Luke Lamarelle. Radis Lotta. Cindy Lynn. Matthew Logan. Maximilian Lee. Deepa Manda. Sunny Mandel. Yusra Mansour. Kristen Markham. Caleb Marsh. Not present today is Joshua Martin. Erica Mammer. Rebecca Meyer. Hannah Miller. Jennifer Minikowski. Nicole Mitchell. Alexander Moore. William Mortal. Daniel Mueller. Savannah Netherton. Elizabeth Newkirk. Gracie Wynn. Brian Nichols. Thanks. Denzel Ninen. Yusra Pasha. Artie Patel. Kushal Patel. Jared Peterson. Raymond Fan. John Pina. Sarah Powell. Nathan Prey. Hannah Randall. Jordan Reed. Taylor Reed. Taylor Reardon. Connor Reddig. Duncan Road. Preston Rippey. Raquel Rudy. Donatas Ruzis. Batul Sadiq. Rebecca Samuels. Syed Sarder. Taryn Shrims. Catherine Skoka. Brandon Saya. Jacob Selvage. Maggie Sherrard. Ludmila Shimkiv. Ibrahim Siddiqui. Kristen Simon. Jaskaran Singh. Max Snyder. Stephanie Soy. Srivali Srivangi Puram. Aaron Steen. Julia Stitley Moore. Muhammad Suleiman. Matthew Talmadge. Adam Taylor. William Tran. Morgan Turno. Azaz Umar. Stephen Vanover. Nicole Viola. Emma Whitlow. Emily Willis. Eleanor Wilson. Teddy Woods. Lauren Wright Whitson. Warda Soha.
You kind of beat me to it. I was going to say, isn't this a great group? Good looking. They deserve another round of applause. I also think we should give a round of applause for the background music to Dr. Westgate. Vishnu Joshi, DO, is currently the president of the Kentucky Osteopathic Medical Association, KOMA. Dr. Joshi is board certified in family medicine and is working with Norton Medical Group in Louisville, Kentucky. He is here today representing the Kentucky Osteopathic Medical Association. Please welcome Dr. Joshi.
Thank you, Dr. Schaefer. It's my pleasure, and it's always an honor to be here on this day, especially the white coat ceremony. I congratulate to the class of 2023. You all came from different regions, anywhere from East Coast all the way to the West Coast. You also have different backgrounds, but now, after wearing the white coat, you all look similar. There is something that has been united together. So unity is a strength. As A.D. Still said, body is a single unit. You have competed to get into the medical school up to here, but I hope that from here, you leave that competitive spirit a little bit aside and be friends, because you all here would be the family that will be supporting and nurturing each other for the next 4 years. And some of you would be your family for the rest of your life, even if you try them to push away. I can assure you that you have made a right decision to become an osteopathic physician. As an osteopathic physician, you will be treating 3 aspects of human health: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. If any of them is an imbalance, then you know there is a dysfunction, then the person is ill. I want you to understand this makes you a better physician, and you can make a lot of difference in the patient's health, in their life, and also in your life as well. And in true means, this is the osteopathic difference. The experience that we encounter with the other human being makes an imprint on our soul and will be carried forever. The patient trusts you as a physician, and you can make that experience good or bad for the patient and for yourself. Not knowing the answers to the patient's questions, the concerns, is the opportunity to become a better physician. By listening, by touching, by doing an osteopathic detailed physical exam, and affirming that you will try to find the answer would be more rewarding experience for your patients. At some point, you may have the moments where you may need direction in your professional life. Reach out to your teachers, your mentors, and other osteopathic physicians. You are part of the osteopathic family, and any state you will end up in, whether in residency or practicing as postgraduate fellow, look forward to be part of the State Osteopathic Medical Association. As a president for the Kentucky Osteopathic Medical Association, I am here to represent the osteopathic physicians in the state of Kentucky. We are here to provide the CMEs that include the state mandatory requirements to practice medicine in state, advocacy for the DOs, and also represent on different state committees, including the Medical Licensing Board. I wish you all good luck in your professional journey that just began, and look forward to have you being involved with Kentucky Osteopathic Medical Association in the future as a student, as a resident, and as a fully licensed physician. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Josie. And now Dr. Sanbol Sahid Salas is a 2010 graduate of the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. Dr. Sahid Salas provides emergency medicine care in Ascension in Pensacola, Florida, and she serves as the president of the KYCOM Alumni Association. She'll bring a few short remarks.
Greetings to the parents, friends, guests, and most especially students in the class of 2023 at the KYCOM White Coat Ceremony. This is truly a special day for all of us at KYCOM, as well as the students before you. This is our chance to welcome and congratulate you on the journey you are beginning, and to validate your presence among us as learners and as future colleagues. As Dean Schaefer mentioned, I am president of the Alumni Association, and I was a proud graduate of the class of 2010. I currently now practice still in Pensacola, but also in Rome, Georgia, in a large catchment area of Northwest Georgia. So coming into medical school, I had an image in my mind of what a doctor was. Staunch, somewhat boring, methodical, contemplative, sometimes boisterous, and competitive. Somehow, as KYCOM students, we have all been and still are different from the stereotype of the traditional doctor. As the friends, families, and mentors of these students, you must agree with me. These are not your typical medical students, and in the future, they will not be your typical doctors. Many within the audience may not realize this, but KYCOM works hard to find dedicated and caring future doctors and to train us with an osteopathic medical education that emphasizes primary care, encourages research, promotes lifelong scholarly activity, and produces graduates who are committed to serving the healthcare needs of communities in Eastern Kentucky and other Appalachian regions, as well as underserved communities around the country. For those of you in the audience unfamiliar with the medical school education, you should know that it is an extremely demanding and seemingly never-ending process. For the next 4 years, the class of 2023 will be studying, taking exams, studying more, taking exams, looking for free food, and studying more. Class of 2023, think of all of you've learned already and how far you've come. You survived the first block. You took a drink, not from the fountain of knowledge, but from the fire hose of anatomy, and you did not drown. You really can handle the information, the reading, the studying, the memorization, and regurgitation that are necessary to make it through medical school. And you will continue to learn to genuinely understand the miracle that is the human body. While you have much to learn, you are well on your journey to becoming a doctor. You're beginning to understand that the history is truly the patient's story, and you've learned to go beyond listening to thoughtfully hearing and comprehending. Now it really begins. As you move into the coming semesters, you will actively participate in the care of patients. Far beyond the pre-med shadowing you did in the past, patients will look to you as part of their healthcare team. This is when you earn it. You are ready and worthy to wear this white coat. So what does it mean to wear this white coat? The most expensive coat you've ever owned. It is your uniform, your entry ticket to pursue a noble profession. Not a job, but a calling. A deep, passionate need to serve others. It's not a sign that you've arrived, but you've begun this journey that will last the rest of your life. As you continue this first phase, medical school, I call on you to learn not just from our faculty, but also from your patients. So I would like to encourage you to put on this white coat and embrace this journey. While it will be hard, it is well worth it. There is joy in the journey. Patients' illness is our learning opportunity. As students, as Dr. Yawns mentioned, you'll find patients who confide in you things they have never told anyone else. It's an amazing opportunity for you and the patient. While their own doctor may have heard their heart murmur dozens of times, it will be new and exciting to you, and your patients will love you for your enthusiasm. And it is never too early to begin to care and to serve. I have loved my journey to date and continue to love it every day working in the emergency department. I thank you for allowing me to share some thoughts with you and wish you joy and happiness in your journey. And as Alumni Association President, I want you to know that the Alumni Association is here for you from day one to help support you with our mentoring program, with social events around the country in areas you train and eventually practice. At CME events in the future to get together with these old friends who become your family, and to be your alumni home after you graduate. So please get involved and reach out to us for anything we can do to help you along the way. Finally, I want everyone to take a good look at these student doctors today. Remember these faces. Not only are they the generation of next osteopathic physicians, they're the role models, the scholars, the mentors, the deans, and quite possibly senators and presidents of the next generation. Be kind to all of them. One of these students may quite possibly soon be performing your next colonoscopy. Thank you.
Would the class of 2023 please stand? And you can repeat after me, but if you need to follow along, it's on the back of your program. As I embark upon the study of osteopathic medicine at the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, I will say it like you mean it, guys. Enter into a relationship of mutual respect with my teachers and my colleagues. That's it. To enhance the learning environment and gain the knowledge, skills, and attitudes of a competent osteopathic physician. Accept responsibility only for those matters for which I am competent. Maintain the trust expected of an osteopathic physician. and never take advantage of the patient-doctor relationship. Show compassion and respect for all others. Set worthy examples in the application of humanistic principles. In my relationships with patients and others within the Appalachian medical community. Work toward improving my sensitivity and skills in human interaction. Understanding and respecting the differences among my patients and my colleagues. Value the knowledge and wisdom of the physicians who have preceded me in the profession and endeavor to contribute to the osteopathic tradition. Recognize my weaknesses and strengths. Strive to develop those qualities that will earn the respect of my patients, my colleagues, my family, and myself. Continue learning throughout all the days of my life. Congratulations, class of 2023.
Good job. This concludes the 2019 White Coat Ceremony of the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. I would ask that the guests remain in your places until the platform party and the student doctors have exited. I invite all of you to join us for a reception on the concourse immediately following the recessional. I thank you all for joining us this afternoon for this very special occasion. Please stand and remain standing for the recessional.